Hello my loves, marhaba habibati. So time for another scent story time. Today we are going to talk about 10 from Knize, Knize. I did go online and do some research, and there's like a whole debate on the online forums about how you actually pronounce this. So I'm going to go with Knize, but if you've heard it pronounced different ways, can you write it out phonetically for us so we know the different ways it's pronounced? But yeah, this is sort of like supposed to be a very strong leather scent, and I have had this sample for a while, but I actually forgot what this one smelled like until I put it on today. And like I used it a while ago, but I haven't used it in a while, and I was like, what is happening? And then I remembered. So it's quite an intense leather type smell. It has a blend of amber, lang-ylang, cedarwood, jasmine, carnation, patchouli, among other things. And it took me on quite an interesting journey, because when I first put it on, actually before we get to that, let's talk about some details. I'll start a picture of the bottle right here. It's sort of a very clean glass bottle with a big sort of clunker of a lid on it, so it's a nice clean bottle, and I think it suits the fragrance quite well. It retails for £60 on Les Senteurs website. That's just where I've been using as my like base map for things. And yeah, so it's about sort of like a mid-range in these kind of niche perfumes. It took me on an interesting journey. When I first put it on, it was really, really intense, to the point that I actually had like a bit of a headache from it. I was reading more of like a strong amber scent off of the top of it, and like very, very heavily fragranced. It was giving me a bit of a headache. But once it dried down, about an hour and a half to 2 hours later, it did take it a while to dry down, but once it did dry down, I got that really complex leather smell, and then all I could think of was like when I was little, I was a competitive horseback rider. So all I could think of was like those early mornings in the barn, in the room, in the tack room, where we had all the bridles and the saddles and all that kind of wood, and the kind of wood that's not the wood, sorry, the leather kind of leather that like you will have different smells, because some of which, you know, you've had your hands on, so it's absorbed all of that kind of moisture from people. Some of which, you know, you've had your you know, like the saddle, you've sort of sat on and all that kind of thing. Not in a weird way, but different leathers had absorbed different kinds of oils over there, and they all had different kinds of smell. So it wasn't like a flat leather smell, but it was sort of more complex, and that's the kind of complexity I got off of this guy. I will say that I will play around with it a little bit before I decide whether or not I want to buy a full bottle, just because I don't know if I can get over how intense, and not in a good way necessarily, for me it was to begin with. If it's going to give me that much of a headache and then a good payoff, is it worth it? So I'm going to keep playing around with it and see what I think. But that's sort of the journey that it took me on. And yeah, let me know if you guys have played around with it, your thoughts on it, and all that kind of good stuff. I think that's it. It's a nice quick one today. I'm going to do some points of positivity, and then I will be done. So my first point of positivity is planning some summer trips. I'm excited to start looking forwards towards the summer and what all that entails. Again, I will share things with you as they become real and tangible, but it's always nice to start to look forward to the summer break, especially after a long school year. I know when I was working, I did not always have the summer break to look forward to, so it's definitely a luxury that I'm appreciating again, and I'm so excited for. The second is a great phone call from the bestie. It came late at night because of the time difference and all that kind of stuff, but it was so nice to hear her voice and to hang out with her like virtually on the phone and all that kind of good stuff. And the third is just a blue lipstick. I've been rocking Melt Cosmetics DGAF a couple times this week, and it's been making me really happy. So yeah, as always, please let me know what's making you guys smile down in that comment section below. I want to send you ever so much love. Thank you as always for being here. And I can never leave you without reminding you that life is just too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.